Welcome to Wales, where I've come with all of our film crews and this, the brand new Alfa Romeo Giulia Quattro Formaggio. I think.
Whatever. Let's get on now and see what's what.
Now, for this to be a proper Alfa Romeo, there must be something wrong with it. Think about it. Person who's kind to his mother and punctual and sober and well-dressed. He's an Audi, and nobody wants a friend like that. If you're going to form a relationship with a car, if you're going to develop a bond, it's got to have human qualities. And if it's going to have human qualities, it's got to have faults.
And this car, I'm delighted to say, has a big one.
I don't know quite how they've managed this, but it's not very easy to get out of. You've got this pillar here and then the wheel here, and there isn't enough of a gap between the two. No, hang on a minute. Hang on. How Alfa Romeo is that? They put the door in the wrong place. It should be further back. That is brilliant.
There's more too. It's not a particularly handsome car. The wheels are too small, and for some reason they've chosen to make the front look like a Wolseley.
Now, in the recent past, James is quite right, Alfas have had their faults and then no good bits to compensate. They've just been wrong-wheel drive Fiats with the word Fiat crossed out and Alfa Romeo written in crayon. That, though, that's a very different animal.
This is a fabulous car, an epic car. Probably because it's the love child of the same man who engineered the Ferrari 458. He's given it a carbon fibre prop shaft, a carbon fibre roof, a carbon fibre bonnet, a proper limited slip differential, telepathic steering and a clever gearbox. But the most impressive bit of this car is its turbocharged 2.9-litre V6 engine.
An engine that wobbles when you close the door. That is brilliant, look at that. You don't get that sort of thing from an Audi, do you? Ferrari, which of course is part of the same company as Alfa Romeo, is very keen to point out that this is not the engine they use in the California with 2 cylinders removed. They say it's a complete coincidence that both engines have the same bore stroke and V-angle. They're adamant that this is all Alfa Romeo's own work. So, there we are. It is then.
And what work it is.
You get 503 brake horsepower. That is 60 more than you get from a BMW M3. 60. It's 175 more than you get from that Jag that James would be droning on about now had I not stepped in and saved the day.
And then there's the way it revs.
Most turbocharged engines are a bit wheezy at the top end, but because the twin scroll turbo in this is mounted in the V of the engine, just like it is in a Ferrari California, coincidentally, the rev counter is still a blur right up to the red zone. masterpiece. An absolute gem.
So, while this may look like a Wolseley, it certainly doesn't go like one. It has a top speed, in fact, of 191 miles an hour.
What this car is a Ferrari wearing four-door Sensi panties.
And that brings me on to this car's party piece.
At normal speeds, it's very quiet and very civilized. And even though it's running on wheels that appear to have come off the bottom of a sofa, it's very comfortable. Even if you push this and put it in bumpy suspension mode. The only setting I haven't yet tried is this one, Race. And I think I should.
Sadly, however, before I found somewhere to try it out, I received a telephone call.
Oh no. What?
Have you got a film crew somewhere?
Yes, I have.
Are you using them to film an Alfa?
Yes, I am.
Where are you?
Wales.
Wales? Can't just arrange that we go to Scotland and then disappear off to Wales.
I didn't tell you to go to Scotland. You decided to go to Scotland on your own.
We've come all the way to Scotland to do this with these two cars. This is the test. You trying to shoehorn this other Alfa. It's nice that there are Alfa Romeos in the world. That's a lovely thing that we can all carry on with the... It doesn't matter how good you think the Alfa Romeo is. This is a car program. Concepts, dreams, imagined things. Scotland with two cars that are credible, relevant, important, work, and are real.
They were still shouting at me as I arrived with all of the film crews at our track.
Itch that you've managed to scratch over the last 10 years, effectively. I don't know how. Why are you suddenly...
It's breaking up. Oh, I've lost you. Race mode. Here we go. In race mode, everything is in a tensed-up state. The throttle response, the gearbox, the steering, and the traction control is off! This has now been transformed from something that was brilliant into something that is sensational. Of course, you'd never drive in race mode on the road, in the same way you'd never take your wristwatch into space. But it's nice to know that it would still work if you did. This does. Oh boy, this does. I've always said you can't be a true petrol head until you've owned an Alfa Romeo. And the trouble is, I've always known there's no Alfa Romeo a true petrol head would actually want to buy. There is now, though. Oh, there is now.
And so, I decided to do something I've never done with any car I've ever filmed in my entire life. I decided, when the test was over, to go to the nearest Alfa Romeo dealer and buy one.
What?
You total cock. You stole our film.
Well, not really.
You didn't actually buy one, did you?
Well, no, because I couldn't make my mind up between that and the 4C.
I know, it was great. It was like watching an ape return to its cage and find there was an apple and a banana. Do I like apples, but I like bananas? Or do I want the apple?
Hammond.
Or a banana?
Hammond, that
Mind you,
car...
they've had both, obviously.
Hammond, that car is brilliant, and it only cost £60,000.
Yeah, but honestly, Jeremy, that doesn't mean anything. If Alfa Romeo launched a dog turd, you'd say it was brilliant.
Yeah,
it's not like
I'm not making it up. You heard it. You saw it's a fantastic car. Anyway, listen, let's find out how fast the Quattro thingy goes round the Ebola drome. And that, of course, means handing it over to a man who thinks that tennis is something that was invented by Stalin. He's actually a local boy this week from the next state along. It's the American. There he is, and even he will enjoy this magnificent machine, I'm sure of that. And he's off with a glorious bark and a pop from that sensational V6. Oh, it's wet.
Okay, Alfa Romeo Giulia quad bike something or another. I can't say it, can't pronounce it. Don't really like driving it.
For God's sake.
So the tall one thinks this is a good car. I still think he was dropped on his head as a child.
Yeah, but at least I don't wear a cowboy hat to weddings. Right now, powering majestically into your name here, this could be the single greatest lap we'll ever see. What are you on about? It's beautifully balanced, hard on the power. Little bit of a wobble there, some oversteer, but it was designed to do that. No, it wasn't. Stop saying things, Hammond, I'm busy.
This is just a BMW for people who like fancy coffee.
No, it's a BMW for people with taste and discernment.
No, it's a BMW for idiots.
Hammond, be quiet. Look at the way it's dealing with old lady's house. Almost no problems at all. Now he can really turn it up for the Sprinter substation. Such power, such pedigree.
Such bollocks.
Just be quiet. Just 2 corners left. Glorious poise in the rain through there. Field of sheep, another masterclass in suspension control, and across the line.
Come on, then.
Well, no.
Come on, what did it do?
What?
Time.
No, it was wet. It was wet, so there's no point putting it on the board. Just wear the computer out for no reason.
Get on with it.
We haven't got time.
Get on with it.
We haven't
All
got...
right, I'm going to do it. Let's have a look at the time. Here we go. Time for Jeremy's Alfa Quadriploggio. That's not quick, mate. I'm sorry.
That's rubbish.
In the dry, it would have done a 1:15.
No, it wouldn't.
Yes, it would.
No, it wouldn't.
It would.
There's no point arguing anyway. He's got the Alfa Romeo thing out of his system, which is good, because it's time now for us to enjoy a gentle stroll along the sunlit sidewalks of Conversation Street.